we are, full steam ahead. We are marketing, we are promoting, we are getting in people's DMs, which is how I met you and how you got to the event last night. We're hosting events, we're networking, we're just out here trying to make sure, number one, everybody knows about our property, but also knows about our community. Because we're building 2 more projects like this. So we'd be excited to have more people know about it, more people come by, more people stop by, and more people get to know us.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, do tell, man. I was so surprised when I pulled up to the building. I'll tell you one of the things that kind of shocked me. It is a aesthetically beautiful building, and just the location right there off of the Beltline. I thought that was pretty awesome. But before we really dig into that, so I want to ask you. So what inspired you to found Virtuoso Realty Group?
So I started in real estate by chance. I was in undergrad and I was looking for a job, and I bumped into an ad that said, become a real estate assistant at an office. I don't know if it was a bait and switch or maybe he really did see something in me. When I went to interview, I met a gentleman named Shane Kramer, who was my first boss in real estate. And he really motivated me, and he said, you understand some of this stuff. You understand I think real estate really is about understanding people, being able to connect to people within 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds,
Yes.
because that can determine the next hour of your conversation, the next 5 minutes, or whether they leave. So, when I interviewed, he was like, I think you can do this. I think you would, be great. I was actually a double major in biology and business at the time in school. I'd taken my MCAT. I thought I was going to medical school. I thought I was going to be a doctor, and it kind of changed my trajectory. And it opened me up to a world that I just didn't even know existed.
Awesome. So what was it that you found more interesting? I mean, being a doctor, heading in that path, I mean, that's pretty interesting. You're talking about a medical doctor. So what was it about real estate that just grabbed you and made you want to?
Honestly, I've gone through different waves of life, right? We all go through different phases, and I've been in the real estate game. I left it to start my consulting company, and then I came back to real estate. But I'll say what really attracted me was the opportunity to really impact people's lives every day. Like, residential real estate didn't speak my language long term. Commercial real estate really has been my passion, but it's because I like businesses. Like, at the end of the day, I think my mission is here to connect with more businesses, help them survive, help them thrive. And my building is a business, right?
Yes.
My clients who are going to build a retail are businesses. So for me, anyone that I can connect to, I just get such a thrill out of it. It's pretty kind of corny to say, but I get excited by it. So when I realized real estate was a business that you could actually make real money in.
Real money.
The other thing is, a lot of people don't like to admit it. I'm driven by money. I am naturally, I like nice things.
Me too.
I like nice hair. I like nice vacations. I like nice food. I wanted to be in a role where at that time it was deciding where I would go through 4 years of medical school, 4 years of residency, then specialization. So I had 12 years before I would actually be really in my business of medicine. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I just got this real estate check from this rental.
Yeah.
And it was looking nice. And so then I had to really decide, hey, is this going to be my long-term goal? Is this going to be my long-term trajectory? And since then, I've been able to build a business which is what brought me to Virtuoso Realty Group, build a business where my clients are a reflection of me. They all may not look like me, but I think personality-wise, they are people at the core that have the same ethics, have the same goals. They want to build community. They want to do things that are bigger and better every time. So that's how I'm here, and that's how I'm in Atlanta.
I love it. I love it. So was it always on the commercial side, or did you kind of get your feet wet on the residential side? Because everybody, in sales, just in my opinion, having come through just sales organizations through the bank and whatnot, we all kind of dream to get into that B2B role.
Yeah.
Dealing with the consumer is great, but when you get to the point where you're dealing with the businesses, I always thought that was special because it's an ongoing relationship. So just like your client, you got 3 more buildings that are coming, and there's projects in the pipeline. So were you able to cut your teeth on the commercial side, or did you start elsewhere?
So I started beating the ground. Like I started as a rental agent. So when in New York is a little different than Atlanta. So Atlanta, you guys have apartments.com or some of these websites where you pretty much go to a management office or you see a sign. New York is a different beast, right? There's 1,000 buildings in a neighborhood, and they don't have a sign that says we want you to rent all the time because the management and the owners don't want you to call them. They don't. So brokers at that time, you couldn't find an apartment without a broker or a good apartment. And so for me, I started off in rentals. So I pretty much beat the pavement. I walked 6-floor walk-ups to show apartments. I showed 3 roommates, 6 roommates, 10 roommates apartments. Wow. And I didn't like that. Yes. I did not enjoy that. Not because the business wasn't good. There's a lot of people who love that. But my manager noticed that I wanted to be more with people who were building and doing things. So he sent me out on a commercial lease listing, actually. We were showing some commercial property, and I loved it. I love the fact that the economics of it was A plus B, and they wanted the math didn't math. They didn't want to be there if they couldn't make money in that location. So it was a split. Like, with an apartment, I want to build a relationship with you so you trust me to find you your next home. Sure. With a business, you want to build a relationship and trust that I'm going to make you money. Yeah, I'm going to put you in a place that's going to make you money. Or I'm going to help you find the property or an asset that's going to make you money. And so I was just so much more excited by that personally. Okay.
So, Dr. Huie, so how about your experience? Real
estate.
Well, Dr. Huie, listen, you go in her office, and I don't know if there's room for one more credential or degree up there. It's a whole lot of them. But I was just gonna say, with dealing with the consumer aspect versus the business aspect, did you kind of like dealing with the B2B side more, or with how did you feel about that?
Because I'm a nurturer by design, so I like dealing with the people. I like seeing I get happy from seeing other people happiness. Not that money don't motivate, because I have over 150 pairs of shoes. So yes,
a woman after my own heart.
Yeah, so I am motivated by money, but because of my upbringing of being poor and stuff like that, I think I'm more empathetic, and that's why I like touching people and feeling people and dealing with people. Because my undergrad is in psychology, so I like to see how people brains work, how they think, how they thrive. And I do have a license in real estate, so we will talk.
Yes.
When I came from New York to Atlanta.
Why there's so many New Yorkers?
Yes.
Everybody I meet is a New Yorker.
Cold in New York is
crazy.
California and New York's in a strong delegation down.
Like my developers are New Yorkers.
Right.
Yeah.
And half of their client or their investors and people who are local are New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Or, within the tri-state, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey region. So I'm like, y'all just really just like, I'm a lead a cold. Come on.
Right.
Yeah. They want to leave the cold. And I mean, you gotta admit the prices of real estate really is
comparatively is
compared to New York and compared to LA.
I could see 10 years ago invest even before COVID. We won't even go 10 years, even before COVID. Like before COVID, you could probably get a decent property house for 200,000, 250 here. Now everything is in the threes.
Yeah.
4s, and if you want to be in luxury in Atlanta, you in the 5s and up. Yeah. And I've seen multi-million-dollar assets being sold here. But so like, to me, it's changing.
It definitely is changing. I will give you that. I'll leave space for that argument because it's a really good one. But I still think the money goes a little bit further. Like, so if you spend like $750,000-800,000 here in the Atlanta area, I mean, you're living real good. I don't know. In New York, you're like $2 million for a brownstone with 3 families. I don't know.
But look at it this way: in New York, that brownstone could also be an income producing generation. Because when I lived in the brownstone, I was on the first floor. Yeah. The second floor was rented, and the third floor was rented.
Yes.
So the second and the third floor was paying for the first floor.
Yeah,
or I was living on, and then so when you have a single family home here, you're running all of the bills by yourself, unless you're letting somebody rent out a room. And it's more like seedy when somebody's renting a room in your house versus in New York, you can close off the doors. You can close off the doors. So here is, I think it's
But look
More
at the
money
space,
spent.
though.
Well, my perspective isn't like just switching it, bringing back to a little bit of commercial real estate.
Right.
I want to change that narrative where when we are raised, we're taught to buy your first house, go to school, make money, work hard, buy your first house, and then get married, have kids, and then buy your first house.
Sure.
But what if you flipped it, right? What if you got your first multifamily? What if you got your first investment property? Because then once that property appreciates, then you could pull equity out of that property and get your first house. And imagine now the value, because the first house, people think it's harder to buy commercial real estate than it is. It's actually sometimes easier to buy commercial real estate than it is to buy residential, because the residential means if you don't have a job, you can't pay your mortgage.
Right. Sure.
A commercial property, a 3-unit, a 4-unit, a 2-unit property, they know you have income.
Right.
So why aren't we taught that, hey, buy your asset, live, build, and then get your big
That's
mansion?
why we have you here. That's why we're bringing people into the community that's coming. That's why I tell people your first home is not your forever home.
It isn't.
Your first home is your starter up.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay all them big money.
No,
Get your regular home.
Get your regular
Live there
something.
3-4 years.
Absolutely.
Rent out one of the rooms. My friend, she always buy where it has a basement.
Uh-huh.
She has a beautiful home. Like downstairs, she's renting one room for $1,000.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's some New York prices. I'm gonna say that. Those are New York prices. If that's in Atlanta, you ain't saving money.
It all depends. Atlanta have a lot of different areas and things like that. So I mean, just like any other city. So depending where you want to live, some areas are gonna call for a premium price.
You don't want to live in Macon.
No, that's true. That's true. That is very true.
It's different, right? But it depends on the phase you're in life. I think everything is about like where you want to be, where your community is, where the people you like to hang out, and what you like to do.
Right.
So New York is fun because everything is right there within
I didn't think it was fun.
Yeah.
I lived there for 8 years. I didn't think it was fun.
No.
It was like hustle bustle. Like now I'm more of me. Now I am more of Shanann.
Okay.
But here I work twice as hard as I did in New York. Because when I tell people, when I was in New York, I was making $10,000-$20,000 a month. Easy. As a teacher, I was making $150,000.
Easy.
Then I was tutoring for whole Mifflin. That was $50 an hour. So when you're talking about $50 an hour, that's $200 every time you sit in a classroom for after your regular paycheck. So when you said it's cheaper in Georgia than it is in New York, it depends on
Cost
where
of
you
living.
are.
And
because I didn't need a car when I was in New York. I had a monthly pass for $105. Now I'm paying car insurance. I'm paying car payment. I'm paying gas. So you have to flip and think the mindset of certain things.
Right. You're right.
I think it's more expensive here.
You're right.
The cost of living changes.
It's more expensive here.
The cost of living definitely equals it out. And depending on what you like to do, like obviously you can take the train everywhere and it's 24 hours. Imagine you trying to get to Buckhead. You take the MARTA to Buckhead, you walking 6 miles, 10 miles to get anywhere. You're not right there out in the middle of everything.
You're right. You are right. You are right about that. Hey, I guess it all just depends on where you're at and what you like. Because I had some friends who work with me at the bank, and they got promoted to like some jobs in New York, and they were complaining because they came with a West Coast vibe. So they came with the car and all the rest of that. This is ridiculous. I pay more for my parking space than I do for my car note.
Can we talk about parking in Atlanta? Y'all want to talk about Atlanta Metro parking is crazy. I went to a restaurant thinking, okay, it's a restaurant. Maybe I could park in the garage. No, everything is valet.
Yeah, sometimes
$25. Just for me to go get a cocktail. So I'm already $40 deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you make the big money.
Yeah, sometimes. But no, it is like that sometimes. And I saw something online the other day, and there was a gentleman talking about a particular club. I'm not gonna call him out on the radio, but there's a night that's typically an urban night, and then there's a night that's more so pop and those type of music. And so he went on the urban night, and they wanted $50 for valet to park his car. He came back on the pop night, and parking was free. And he asked them why, and he said because they'll pay it. The urban people will pay it when they come out, and the other folks won't pay it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's racism right there.
If
you want to talk about
Wow, that's hard.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
it
it's
is.
blatant too.
It is, and I hate to say it, but sometimes it's our own folks who feel like that, who own those venues and who do some of those things sometimes. But yeah, we gotta take a stand. It's our money. They're your soldiers. Put them to work how you want to put them to work. Don't let people beat you out of them. But
definitely tell what restaurant that was.
I am not gonna tell on nobody. I just want to. That was just, maybe he saw that post and maybe he saw the light, so he might tighten that up.
Awesome.
But just bringing it back real quick. So you're bringing something really exciting to Atlanta. I was really struggling not to steal your thunder when I invited you in here. As I started talking about it, I'm like, no, let me let her tell it. But this is a brand new apartment and retail development. It's right on Hank Aaron Boulevard, steps from the Beltline. So can you kind of paint a picture for our listeners, like what makes this project special?
Well, number one, it's 250 apartments.
Wow, that's good.
100% affordable.
Okay.
Say that again.
100% affordable. So what does that mean, right? People hear affordable housing. So sometimes people think, oh, affordable housing is low income, Section 8 projects. Affordable housing in our development world is bringing assets and partnering with the city, partnering with financiers and institutions to bring apartments that we can now subsidize so that you can pay a lower rent. It doesn't mean you don't make money. It means you meet our requirements the city dictates. And every city dictates what affordability is. So affordability in New York might be $150,000 in income. Affordability in Atlanta might be $80,000 to $90,000 in income. And depending on the AMI, which is the average medium income, we're able to bring your rent down. So the average rents for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom in this downtown / Peoplestown area of Southeast Atlanta is probably $2,850 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
That's steep.
That's steep. It's not. That's not affordable all the time. Our apartments go for 13.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, when I heard that yesterday off the tour, I thought the guy misspoke. I wanted to get to you. I could tell you were the boss. So I was like, let me hear that from Miss Cynthia. I think his brother done got confused, but I was really shocked and to hear that. And the name of that building is right. Skyline Atlanta. Oh my gosh. It's
and
so
that's the other thing is when you build affordable, doesn't mean you have to build cheaply and terribly. You saw the units. Beautifully done.
Beautiful.
We have 10,000 square feet of amenity space. We have 230 parking spaces. We have 6,500 square feet of retail. And then we have an additional 23 parking spaces and 40 parking spaces coming. So we have a building where people can build their lives there. So we have everything from nurses, flight attendants, people in their master's program who are looking to be somewhere that they can afford and still live their lives.
So, quick question. So with it being affordable, and I know that there was an income requirement. So is the rent scaled? So like if someone, or is there someone capped? Does someone max out? Like,
so yes. So as far as if you max out at a certain number of income when you're applying, we're going to review bank statements. So I'm not on the residential side, but they will review your bank statements. They will review your liquidity in your accounts and things like that, because we have to check certain boxes that the city and the government requires us to check.
Understood.
Once you apply and get in there, this is your home. And so in 15 years, what a lot of people know, we're likely going condo. So now you've been
renting. What I was going to ask.
Now you've been renting this property and you're going to be able to buy your home. Okay. And you all have to kind of see it. You have to see what Skyline is, because I can tell you Skyline, but nobody has our views. Nobody has the views of Atlanta that we have, because it is a clear view. We bought a beautiful plot of land and we essentially built something that's masterful, and you could see the whole skyline of Atlanta. And that's why if you see my signage and my marketing for the property, you are looking at the skyline in the base of the building that wraps the whole building. But yeah, no, I mean, to me, this project is special because it's something that my developers and my project manager really dreamed of. We've partnered with a lot of different people in Atlanta to make it happen. And now our job is to fill the building, obviously, with the apartments from the from the property management side. And for me, it's to bring dope businesses that are thriving, growing, and looking to be in a great juncture. So our property really attracted a lot happening there. So now we have Terminal South across the street that's been built and it's about to open. And then we
Yes.
have a lot of development happening by us.
What
Yeah.
about if somebody have an eviction? Like, what parameters do you use to qualify these people that's coming in? Because, you know, we talk about it all the time. When students go into college, the first thing they do is give them a credit card. He's a banker. He knows that. Most, like, we had a client with the other guy. He didn't know that you're supposed to be making monthly payment. He's just think, okay, I'm using the money. Is there a second chance, or you have to come pristine? You have to have everything, the credit check, the background check, everything. What are the qualifications?
I cannot answer that because I'm really, really a retail and a commercial broker. I stay out of their lane. But I can connect you with our property management. And if you guys Google Skyline Apartments Atlanta, you'll see our apartments.com, and it lists out all the requirements. It lists out what you need to do, how you can apply, and then you can definitely make an appointment to stop by the office, and she will thoroughly go over everything.
There you go. Yeah, you and anybody who might be looking for a new apartment home, who I would encourage you to figure out if let them tell you don't qualify, because that building is nice, man. It's really is a jewel. And so I want to just so what kind of retail mix are you envisioning? So like I saw on the on the bottom floor, for those who haven't been out to the building, is it 3?
So we have 4 retail spaces.
Okay.
So we have what I call our jewel box, which is cafe retail. Our cafe retail is right off of our lobby. It's been pre-built with bathrooms, but we kept the space raw because we didn't know what footprint somebody would want, whether they would want sinks or drains or whatever. So the drains are everything. Our electrical is ported. And most importantly, all of our spaces already have grease traps.
Yes.
So I know Atlanta, that's a big thing.
Huge.
All of our spaces have grease traps already in place, so you don't have to worry about that. But so with cafe retail, you have direct Beltline access. So we've partnered with Beltline and MARTA, and so there's 2 things that are happening. Obviously, with the Beltline, if you saw yesterday, the trucks were, finishing up the expansion of the southeast portion of the Beltline to connect us to Pittsburgh Yards, because that's the next connection from us. And right now, they're finishing up the width, like as far as pulling the trees out and things like that. And then they're going to build a ramp and staircase up to our building so that it goes literally right in front. And so people can come there. So cafe retail, it could be a coffee shop, it could be a juice bar, it could be a dance studio, it could be a fitness studio, it could be a bunch of things there. And then we have 3 other units that are right on Hank Aaron Drive. All of our units have floor to ceiling windows, which means you have no shortage of light. You have no shortage of visibility. You can put marketing in all of your windows. And we're literally a quarter mile down the road from Georgia State Stadium, which is the old Atlanta Braves Stadium.
Yeah.
Will there be security there?
So there is security. Well, I mean, like there is security. We do have, number one, we have a very robust camera security system throughout the property. We invested in a lot of digital technology to lock in, so you can't get into certain doors without our codes or being a resident unless the resident gave you the code. We have key fobs, so you can't get into certain portions of the buildings or the garage without that. But then we do have live physical security that's walking the building as well to make sure that our tenants and our residents are safe.
Yeah. And I think, it's one of those neighborhoods that's in transition right now. So there's, some things that are in between. But it seems like the city has done a good job, though, when the development comes and the neighborhoods kind of start to change and shift a little bit to make sure that, people are kind of taken care of and whatnot.
Well, I think also the other thing that I think we have special going for us, and, we have spaces from 600 square feet up to 2,300 square feet. So we can do restaurants, we can do Pilates studios and all that. And we want everyone to come and see the space. But
you really need to.
But we also have across the street, because we built this building, because of the juncture we're at, we have what's called Rapid MARTA. So a lot of people don't know about Rapid MARTA system that's being started. Essentially, it's a 5-stop express bus that's going to go from our property to downtown train station. So essentially now people have accessibility in transit. So a lot of times people would have to wait for 3 and 4 fare bus change commutes to get to that area.
Sure.
Now we're essentially making sure that you can get there pretty quickly if you're getting off the MARTA. Mm-hmm.
So if you're a business owner and you are considering that next location and you want to, be considered for this, how should they get in contact with you? What should they do?
Well, number one, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that. We're number one. You saw our ads.
Yes.
We are robust marketing brokerage. So generally we're at Skyline Retail on Instagram, at Skyline Retail if you're in Atlanta on Instagram. Or you can look at my page, Cyn Realty, CYNREALTY. Also just Google Skyline Retail, Skyline Real Estate in Atlanta. And you generally will see our content on our company's website, my team's website. You have pictures, videos, drone, YouTube. Pretty much if you are looking for us, you can find us.
Yeah,
but I'm sure you'll share my contact information.
Absolutely.
And for sure, feel free to reach out to me if you have a small business. If you're looking to start a business, we are open to, fairly any type of business. We cannot do certain, businesses like cannabis and things like that, just because we have built and partnered with the city, so it's not federally legal.
Got it.
What about a tax company?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Bookkeeping would be great.
Yeah.
Accounting would be great.
Yeah.
Food operators. So because of where we are, there's not much retail. Until we finish building our buildings, there's not much retail on this part of Hank Aaron Drive. You pretty much have to go a half a mile down the road to Summer Hill.
Sure.
And so there are tons of buildings. And I don't know if I pointed out to you, there's so many buildings that have been built in that neighborhood. And there's no growth, like there's no micro grocery concept. So someone with fresh foods and fresh vegetables that they can grab. There's, we are in conversations with larger coffee companies and food, but we're open to a mix. I would love local businesses. If you have a coffee shop somewhere and you're looking at opening your second, third, I'd love to talk to you. If you have a gym, I went to a great gym today out of nowhere. I ran into it and it was a Black-owned gym, and I think you would do well there. Pilates studio, everything.
Yeah.
You're going to have 250 apartments upstairs. So you could have anywhere from 500 to 600 residents right there. Nail salons, hair salons, barbershops.
Sure.
We're open.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
The traffic from the Beltline.
Yeah.
Okay. So since it's rent and income subsidized for the people that is coming, what about the business? Like what would it start? Like
is
if
that
somebody,
opportunity zone?
Yeah, is there opportunity
So
zone?
it's not specifically, we are fair market retail. So across the street, there's been a development called Terminal South. It's the new food hall that's about to open in Atlanta. And they've gotten a pretty good price per square foot. So we're kind of matching that to see it. Just because we built the building. We spent a good amount of money to build the building.
Money, right?
Well, we gotta pay it. We gotta pay it back. So, I still believe our pricing is very fair and reasonable when it comes to the retail, and we are going to structure our deals to make sense, right? We want people to survive and we want people to thrive here. We want people to be here for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years.
Yes.
So we're going to start and we're going to create leases and create structured deals that'll make sense for the operator to be able to survive, as opposed to just us trying to make money. That's not our game.
Okay, got it. That definitely makes sense. And if you're a business owner and you're listening to this, because one of the things that I liked about it is they left those spaces raw.
Yes.
So there's some room to negotiate and discuss and figure out how you're going to go ahead and approach that build out. But if you are looking at that and you're wondering about how to finance those things, that is definitely something that Carr Consulting can help you with. So, if you're looking at one of those locations, you want to make sure that it matches the aesthetics of the building, things like that. We can definitely help out. And then, from a tax perspective, Dr. Huie, what kind of advantages could a business have, like when they're moving into a raw space where there's going to be a potential for a significant build out and things of that nature?
All the materials they bring in is a write-off. Everything they bring in is a write-off. From the nail, like I tell people, y'all don't even write off the bulbs. You can write off the bulbs. You can write off the battery inside of a mouse. People don't realize those tiny things are what add up as you go along.
Wow.
So the furniture that you bring in, the workers that you have coming in, all of those things will be a write-off. Driving to there every day is a write-off. So there's a lot of write-offs, and you get $5,000 to start up a new business.
Wow.
So that's a tax write-off you can have up in the beginning.
You see, it's that's why it's good to have good counsel, wise counsel to help figure things out. Because I think I sent a referral to you, Dr. Huie, not too long ago. Gentleman had a small business. He didn't realize that he really could write anything off. And I'm talking to him, and I'm like, bruh, like you bought a lot of stuff, you paid for a lot of stuff, so. Is there a lot of people feel like they have to do a certain amount of volume or revenue or sales in order to make those deductions? How does that play?
The IRS say anything that's ordinary and necessary for your business to survive is a tax write-off. There was somebody, the challenge was she bought a yacht and she was riding up and down the Hudson River and blah, blah, blah. And they said, why would you buy a yacht and da-da-da, it's so expensive? She said, those are the clients I'm trying to attract. Like the car I have, I'm trying to attract businesses. I can't drive my 2014 Caravan with the dents in if I'm sitting and talking to her. Because how can you teach me how to do something if you haven't even walked in that footstep? You understand?
Yes.
And you got to walk the walk and talk, especially in Atlanta. If you're not in Atlanta walking the walk and talking the talk, they'll look at you.
Diva sure do that.
They walk the walk and they talk the talk. And my car, people, it was just looking at the car thinking it's this and it's that and it's that.
It's something this and that and that.
I know it's something that I wanted, and
you worked hard to get
see on the back. I bought it through the business.
Yes.
So everything, the gas, the mileage, the the car payment, the car insurance, everything is a business expense and also advertising because I have the tag on the back.
Yeah.
So I can wrap that up into so many things as advertising because it's not under my name, it's under the business name. And that's where she's telling you. You need to think smarter, use some of the things that we're learning and flip the script.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, there are other, the thing I like about Atlanta is Invest Atlanta has some grants for people to start businesses and grow their businesses.
Yes.
I think you can get upwards of $50,000, whether you're buying a business or you're just trying to do improvements. So there's and that money you get, those loans you get, again, I'm sure portions of them are write-offs because you're going to invest in it, the interest and all that kind of stuff. And I think we got to be smart about what we're doing for the future. For me, I got into this business to build wealth for my family, build wealth for the future of not just my generation, for the generations that are beyond me. So
I would say 7 generations.
At least 7 generations. And so real estate is that vehicle for me.
Sure.
I've been an Airbnb host for 12 years. That's another business that I've got into because of real estate. So it really comes down to being smart and definitely having the right people, having you guys to consult them, advise them, and then help them make sure they're doing the right thing so that they can save money.
Can you tell them how they can reach you again?
You can reach me at Cyn Realty, CYNREALTY, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn is a big place we're at. Or you can go to Virtuoso, VIRTUOSO, realtygroup.com, virtuosorealtygroup.com, or CynthiaPeacock.com. You can pretty much Google Cynthia Peacock.
Yes.
And I pretty much show up.
Yeah, you did show up. You popped up, LinkedIn, all of that good stuff. And one of the things that I really wanted to highlight, first of all, hats off to making way in a male dominated industry.
Oh yeah.
And when you're talking about the type of developments that you're doing as well, it's a certain particular type of male as well. So hats off to you for making some headway in that space for sure. And so one of the things I saw was that your company is known for high touch, customized service. So uncovering off the market opportunities. Maybe can you share a success story where that approach maybe made all the difference for you?
So I'll say can I just put a little plug for women to get into commercial real estate, please?
You heard her.
I ended up in this business because I had a mentor who motivated me and told me I could do it, right? And he wasn't a person that looked like me, surprisingly enough, but he was someone who saw that potential-wise, the income potential in this commercial real estate business compared to residential was substantial. You can lease an apartment and make 1 month's rent or, 2 months rent or something. When you lease commercial, you're making 10x what you would make.
Wow.
Because the numbers are different. The
Sure.
leases are longer. A 15-year lease, which for a restaurant means we should get paid on the potential of the income that the owner is going to get. So that's the way we calculate our commission math. So it makes a difference in the amount of time you can do, how you can invest in your business and things like that. So girls like me, please get into commercial real estate. I know a lot of people want to be realtors these days, but commercial is a space that needs our attention.
Yeah.
So a project to me that's been really special is actually one I'm actually closing out on this year. I built a relationship with a woman through a networking group. Number one, I network all the time, which is why I was excited to come and talk to you guys. Like I'm in a networking group that meets at 6:45 in the morning every Tuesday. And I built a relationship with this woman over 2 years, and she brought me a opportunity to sell land in Manhattan. And this property, it was family owned, and they had bought this property almost 30 years ago. The father had bought this property, and they were looking to sell it at a premium, like just a plot of land.
Sure.
Like
Manhattan.
a lot.
32 years ago.
Again,
Yeah.
but it was above market, right?
Okay.
It was they were looking for about $16 million.
Okay.
And so I worked on that deal for probably we had our buyer probably 6 months into my work, but it took about 1.5 years and we're closing or whatever.
Sweet.
But it was really an opportunity where, number one, I was able to make my partners and the people who had the asset really proud because their father bought something so long ago, and they were able to essentially actualize that wealth that he envisioned for the family.
Yes.
But also, I'm working now, and I'm cool with the next developer who's taken over. It's young person who has a family, who's building his generation of wealth.
Yeah.
So it kind of is like the specialness of it is that we're transitioning from one family to another,
Yes.
but at the same time, I'm able to grow with both of these people. I'm able to grow. It's like, so for me, like real estate, the sale of real estate is important, obviously, because you make money, but the sale of real estate also helps me to impact people's lives and, impact what their next generations, their 7 generations down are going to want to do. Because the people the people who make the money from this sale are going to be able to put their kids, put money in their grandkids' college fund, trust, and really make sure that they're always, keeping their family's name and their legacy pretty high. I was born in Ivory Coast, Africa. A lot of people don't know this. I was born in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, and I ended up in the U.S. because my father bank, he was a banker. His bank had a program to educate your kid anywhere in the world.
Oh, wow.
And my father decided to send me to the US to live with my aunt and uncle so that they would raise me in South Jersey, Voorhees, New Jersey, but also I would have the educational system. So like for me, giving back is huge. Right. Giving back is always a big part of my brand, whether it's I'm networking, I'm doing my fundraisers, I'm doing my nonprofit work. So, this deal to me was a way for me to not just help someone build their wealth, but also see the future of it in this new building that's going to be built there.
I love it.
We love it.
I love it.
Shout out to Miss Peacock.
Thank you.
Yes,
Like
yes,
your name.
yes.
You know what a peacock when they open.
Oh yes, no Peacock.
It's
It's my family's name for generations at this point.
Okay.
Awesome. So when someone's leasing or buying a commercial unit, whether it's a retail unit like in the Skyline or office space, there's probably some things that they should consider besides the rent.
Yes.
So like, what are some of those things and how do you prepare your clients to kind of think about that?
Yeah. So number one, always work with a broker. There are a lot of people out here shopping and looking for spaces alone. Unlike residential and commercial, it doesn't cost you any money. I don't know about Atlanta, but in commercial real estate, being represented by a broker doesn't cost you anything because the owners generally pay the commission. So the reason why you want representation is that as a broker, I know things. I was talking to a business associate the other day, and I gave him just some advice when he was looking to move into his new space. And I was like, call me if you need any help. And I talked to him 2 days ago, and he ended up leasing the space that he had mentioned or moving within his building. And I was like, well, how much concessions did you get? And he was like, concessions. I'm like, oh, that's free rent. If you're even if you are in the same property and you're moving to another space in the property, you can still get free time, which means it gives you time to get set up, takes you time to invest in it. So that was one thing. He was like, oh, I didn't know I could get that. Then the next question was like, oh, well, what TIA or tenant improvement allocation were you able to get? So they were like, oh, I could get money. Well, if you're going to make substantial improvements, if you're going to put in HVAC, if you're going to do that, sometimes the landlords can buy that back from you because you can't take that with you. If you're putting infrastructure, you put floors in, you can't pick up them floors and take them with you. Some people might want to. But so like, what is the package that was put together? So as a broker, for me, every deal is different. It's really hard for me to say when I negotiate my gym clients deal. Sometimes people are really hard on like, oh, my rent number has to be low. I'm like, if your rent number is a reasonable price, but I get you these other concessions built in, your net rent will actually be lower than the number you think it's going to be, because now the owner can now refinance or finance their property at a higher number, and the expenses of it doesn't pan out in that deal, but they don't necessarily think about it when you're looking for this low ball number. So thinking about that, also thinking about the term of the lease. The longer, some people are like, oh, I only want a 2-year lease. I only want a 3-month lease. Yeah. The longer, the better. You can get more out of people longer. And then you protect yourself with good guy clauses and things like that.
Man, and that particular thing right there cost me early in my business career. I had a retail clothing store, and I had a clothing store in the mall in Santa Barbara, Santa Maria, California, Santa Barbara County. And I was wanting to open a location here in Atlanta. Wow. Found the location. It was in South Lake Mall. I went to all the malls, went to Lenox, I went everywhere. Found a location that I wanted, signed the lease. Gave these people a deposit check, and they said, hey, listen, there's a national tenant. They're interested in the space, but you were here first. If you'll sign a permanent lease, you can have the space. But they only wanted 5 years or something like that. I got scared. I got cold feet, and I was afraid to do it. And
did you have a broker?
I did not have a broker.
And so your broker would have been able to negotiate, no problem. If he does a 5-year lease, we want an opt-out with 90 days good guy notice.
See, there you go.
You would be able to vacate with no personal liability because it was negotiated in that.
And see, that is exactly what I was afraid of. And so part of that first was my first real business. And that's what kind of brought me to Carr Consulting, because I realized that I needed a guy like me. I'm learning that I needed you a long time ago.
Oh yeah, you all need me. You all need me. You'll learn that.
But no, that's that's the importance of bringing professionals to the table, and even it's beautiful in your space that they don't have to pay that's not customary in your business for them to have to pay that. But even if you did have to pay a premium, wouldn't it be worth it? Yeah. I've made some terrible decisions when it come down to business leases. And I have too. And I've seen some clients do it too, like have cams where they're paying a bunch of cams and get nothing for it. Like lots of things like that.
Everything is negotiable. People don't realize that, like little terms. If like in certain office buildings, if someone tells you that, oh, we just do a $4 a foot electric cost. No, I want mine to be directly metered. And if you can't directly meter it, then I want $2 a square foot. Because the electric bill isn't necessarily going to be at $2 a foot. You don't know that. I want to see an actual bill so I can estimate what my real cost is going to be.
Yeah, that's that's actually where my office is now. Yeah, we pay yes. And the funny thing, we are. And the funny thing about that, what I started thinking about is he wants everybody to kind of pay an even split, but I'm like,
even split.
And I have a smaller bill.
So you have a smaller office. Wow. There's a hair salon on the end, and I'm short of them high power hair dryers and running the water and all the rest of that. We got 2 people in our office that might flush the toilet every now and again, and so that's
when he's coming up. We need to negotiate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what?
He listens to our show, so we're not gonna talk too crazy. But listen, I'm gonna have my broker holler at you when it's time to renew that lease.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what, for me, it's really about helping people understand what they don't know. Like I've had 20 plus years in this business. So I have encountered the craziest thing, whether it's the scams or the people trying to, undercut my client or trying to be shady about stuff. Like I've experienced a lot of it. And so you don't have to. Sure. And if you work with a trusted broker, someone that you trust to have your best interests at heart, they're going to fight for you. And then number two, you don't know how to negotiate like I know how to negotiate. You might get a better deal because you might come out, no, I only want to pay this. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold this to the side as my leverage. Mm-hmm. And I have this little pocket over here because I'm not gonna bring it up now. But once we get through the negotiation, wait. I just realized this, and this is a big concern, blah, blah, blah. And we'll be ready to walk away from a deal to essentially pull that last bit out.
That's what I'm going to
squeeze that last bit of orange.
I will walk away from it.
But, so sometimes you have to know what leverage is. And I think in negotiations and in doing that, to me, the value where I think myself and my team come in is we understand how to deal with people.
Sure.
I think that's a lost art right now, unfortunately. And I'm gonna sound like the old lady. I'm gonna sound like the old lady, be like, people don't pick up the phone and call you. If you're a broker and you're sending me an offer and you didn't pick up the phone and call me, okay, I'm gonna negotiate the offer, but I might have gave you a little bit more. I might have, helped you out a little bit more.
Sure.
Also, you don't know what, so some people are like, oh, well, I want it at this number and this number. I'm like, now you're creating the environment for me to react a certain way. Or if you want to, come to me and you want to be friendly and you want to be engaging and you want to build rapport with me, now I might have more of an ability to talk to my client because I have leverage. The client wants a good tenant. I'm like, you know what? I really believe in this. Let's give a little bit more. But if I don't trust it and I don't have data or information to know that, then why would I do that? So pick up the phone and call your broker.
Call your brokers.
So can you leave us with a gem? Because this is so exciting. We're at our last 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
What would you tell your younger self about finance that no one taught you about? We know the real estate part, but finance.
So the biggest thing is knowing and understanding credit. And I'm sure you definitely talk about it. The only way to buy property is through credit. Mm-hmm. Like you're not buying property cash, liquid cash. Even if you have the liquid cash to do it, they want to know that you can sustain the property and they want to know that you're going to be able to make those maintenance or monthly payments on it. So I had a history where initially my parents were really smart as far as like helping me and always putting me in rooms. But I would say, in my early years, I didn't mess up my credit necessarily, but I didn't understand how to build it and scale my credit so that I could be able to invest in assets so that I would have what is called, the capabilities and my profile would be diverse enough to do it. So if you are out here and you're seeing some of these scams out here to get a credit card and do this and go shopping and do that, please be careful. Please be careful and think about the future. Like, so for me, like 19-year-old me that got into this business, I would tell her, number one, invest in education. Like I'm where I am now because I've invested a lot of times going to programs, training courses, and I sat in rooms of people that did not look like me.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to branch out. Like I meet everybody. I don't care. Like if they look like me, they don't look like me. I meet them. I have coffee with them. I have dinner with them. Sure. And that's to me how I ended up here.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta, when it comes down to just the world in general, there's all kind of people, from all different walks of life and you got to take everybody as an individual. You will put yourself in a box and miss out on some wonderful opportunities.
We're also afraid to branch out. Like a lot of times people want us to come.
I know. They want you to
They want you there.
Yes.
Go.
Because they want to know. Yes, so true. Thank you, Pauline Alves. Thank you, Slim Jim Rock. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is a Black woman in a space that nobody is in. And we're going to get into space. So I'm going to bring her back again because time is gone. But, it is what it is, But that's what we want to do. We want to bring people that's in spaces that we don't know. I know people in trucking, women in trucking.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be bringing a woman in trucking.
Yes.
I have somebody that she made $500,000 on TikTok. So we're bringing in people.
I'm like, I want to know what it is. I want to hear that. I can't wait to hear that.
She'll be here next week.
For sure.
So, guys, I'm telling you, it's money out there. Don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid to meet people. Like, when I'm on the plane in first class, most of the time I'm the only one in there. When I'm in the American Express lounge and I look around,
it's worth it.
Yes, and it's worth it.
Put yourself in rooms.
Be uncomfortable
with the people that will help you get to your feet. Like I always, and so this is my last thing I'll say about real estate. Commercial real estate is a game you don't play for today. If you're looking at a commercial asset being built, that asset was planned 3 years, 4 years, 10 years ago.
Sure.
So if you're looking at something now or the hot neighborhood now, you're like, oh, well, it's not Buckhead. It's not Midtown. Come back in 3 years, 4 years.
Sure.
You've already missed it. So I want us, and I think that's where we miss the boat. We'll wait sometimes and be like, oh, but we didn't have the opportunity.
Oh, we sure did.
We did. You didn't take it.
Who lived in those houses
we let grandma sell it.
Yeah.
We let uncle sell it.
Yes.
And so like, don't be afraid to take the opportunity and to change the future of which is going to come, because, right now there's a lot ahead.
This is Dr. Shanann T. Huie, and we're signing off. ATL Talks. This is the money, the wealth code unlock. We unlock it. We're unlocking it. Remember, wealth to you may not be wealth to me. Wealth to AC may not be LC. What is wealth to you? This is your last thing.
Wealth to me is family.